So I have gotten a few new subscribers in the last few days, so if you are new to my channel, hi! My name is Victoria. I am married to Neil and we have a 3-year-old son, Ian. I'm so sorry about the noise outside. The gardeners just decided to mow the lawn right there, right outside of the window. It's perfect time. So today I thought I would do a video on toddlers, specifically bribing toddlers. Do you bribe your toddler? Before I had kids, I always said that I would never bribe my kid, ever, ever, ever. I would see some parents in stores and the kid would be screaming because they wanted a toy, and the parent, feeling flustered because people are looking and probably judging, would just be like, okay, if you stop crying, I'll give you the toy. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's why they act like that. I'm never gonna do that. Yeah, pre-children, I definitely judged those of you in the Walmart giving your kid a toy to shut him up. Yes, I judged you. I'm sorry. Now that I'm a mom, I don't necessarily agree with that tactic, but I definitely don't judge anymore. You never know what somebody's day is like. You don't know what that mom, has been dealing with all day long. And so I really just try not to judge now that I'm a mom myself, and that I'm pretty sure other parents are judging me. And but with that said, I do still try very, very hard not to bribe Ian, but I think I still do it, but I do it in different ways. For instance, I'll usually say something before the fact. So if he's screaming, okay, I can't even say that because Ian just doesn't do that. I'm not trying to brag or anything. Ian just has never been that kind of a kid where, he would just throw a temper tantrum in the middle of a store. But sometimes, I'll be trying to leave the house and I'll be like, Ian, put your shoes on. Ian, put your shoes on. Ian, put your shoes on. And I'll say it like, I don't even know how many times. And either he's ignoring me because he's playing or he's watching TV, or sometimes he just thinks it's funny to like just not listen to me. So he'll be laughing and be like, Ian, put your shoes on. And he'll be like, hee hee, and he won't. He'll like instead go dart under a blanket or something. So sometimes he'll be like, okay, well, mommy's going to the mailbox to get the mail, and I guess Ian's not going because he didn't want to put his shoes on. And he'll be like, no, I want to go. And I'm like, okay, if you want to go to the mailbox, you have to put your shoes on. And then he'll put his shoes on. So I don't know if that's bribing. I think it's bribing, sort of, kind of. So I do bribe him in that way. I also do reverse bribing, which is instead of saying, if you will be good, then I will give you this. Instead, I wait till he's done the good thing, and then I tell him, you're getting this because you were so good. We actually just did that yesterday. Neil is so impressed by Ian's ability to, if you give him a time limit on a toy, like in a store, I've noticed that really, really helps with him being 3. If he finds a toy in a store that he really likes and he doesn't want to let go of it, if I were to just say, Ian, look, you can't have it, I'm sorry, you need to put it back, we're going, he would get sad. And he's not one to throw a temper tantrum, like I said, but he would be sad, he might cry. At the very least, he would be pouty about it. So what I found really, really helps is if I say, Ian, we can't take that toy home with us. You can hold it for 1 more minute and then you need to put it back and say bye-bye. And that seems to work very well with him. Very rarely ever does he still have an issue with putting the toy back. And a lot of times I don't even have to say, okay, your minute's up, go put the toy down. A lot of the times I'll just tell him, you have 1 more minute, and he'll take a few more seconds with the toy, and then he'll say bye to it and put it back on the shelf all on his own without me having to remind him that a minute is up. There are some instances where he doesn't put it back after the minute, and so I have to say, okay, 1 minute's all done, say bye-bye to the train or the truck or whatever, and he'll be like, okay, bye train, and he puts it back. So that's usually how things go in a store with us. But Neil is so impressed by Ian doing this, like it just baffles his mind that, I can give our 3-year-old a time limit and that he puts something back. That we were in a store yesterday and Ian did that very thing. I gave him a minute warning as to how long he had left to hold or play with that particular toy, and he took about 10 more seconds with the toy and he put it back on the shelf all by himself. And so Neil, in the next store we went to, Ian had saw this really tiny toy airplane. It was a cheap little toy airplane, but he really liked it. And so Neil went ahead and bought it for him, and when we left the store, we gave it to him, and Neil was like, Ian, you've been so good today. When Mommy told you to put the toys back, you did. You were such a good boy. So you get this little toy. So I think that's kind of reverse bribing. It's to encourage him to do that in the future. Yeah. I also have bribed him in a bad way. There was one time when Neil and I were at one of his Christmas concerts. Neil plays in a band, and they had a Christmas concert, so we were outside. There was a lot of older people there listening. It was very quiet, and I forget why Ian started crying. This was when he was, I think, 1.5-ish, maybe 2. I don't remember even why he started crying. He was playing very, very happily, and then all of a sudden he just starts crying. And I could not get him to stop because I didn't know what the problem was, and he wouldn't tell me. And I was like, Ian, stop. You know, people were looking, and I was like, oh my gosh, he was so loud. Everyone was looking at me. I was so embarrassed. And we were outside, so it's not like we were inside a building and I could take him out of the area. We were outside. There was nowhere to go. And so, yeah, I totally pulled a lollipop out of my purse and I was like, Ian, look at Mommy, look, lollipop. But we can't cry if we eat a lollipop. And I gave him the lollipop. Yes, I was ashamed of that moment, but you know what? It made him be quiet. And yeah, so I have definitely bribed him in maybe not the best way. But yeah, I definitely utilize bribing in one way, shape, or form. I try very hard not to bribe parents when I bribe other parents. No, I don't bribe other parents. Give me a little parent lollipop. I try not to judge other parents when I see them bribing, either in a way that I find acceptable or in a way that I find unacceptable. It doesn't matter. What I do is not what they're doing, and that's perfectly fine. You know, every single parenting choice doesn't work for every family. So if you bribe your kid, that's perfectly okay in my book. I am not judging you, and I hope that if you ever see me bribing Ian in a store, that you are not judging me. So there you have it. Do I bribe my kid? Yes, sometimes I bribe my child, and I am not ashamed of it. So question to you guys, do you guys bribe your kid, and how do you bribe your kid? I'm curious. So anyways, that's today's video, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!